My name is Benjamin. I am 6.
I'm Tori, and I'm here with Benjamin, and I want to tell you his story. Chantel, one of my coworkers, is familiar with the women and the children that live at Kim Il-sung Market, which is the market where a lot of our street boys come from. So she had just been hearing that there was a boy that was living there that was 5 years old. So we wanted to go check it out and see what the story was. When we went to the market, first we talked with some people. We always want to make sure that the boys actually are street boys, and we try to learn about their living situation from other people in the area, just to make sure that the stories match up when we actually go find the kids. So we went and found out that there actually were a pair of twins living at the market and that they were 5 years old. So we went and found their mom, who works outside of the market. She works in a really rough area. It reeks of urine, there's flies everywhere. No one would intentionally walk back into this place. She has a temporary job, so sometimes she has work and sometimes she doesn't. And based on if she has found work or not, the kids have a place to sleep or they don't. So sometimes they're homeless.
I feel like life on the streets, it's just animalistic. It's really dark. They've seen and experienced things that most of us never would. The violence, the drugs. A lot of the kids sniff glue here. It numbs them from feeling hungry. Basically, that's what if they can't find food that day, that's why a lot of them go to it. And there's a lot of sexual abuse also. They'll see the boys with each other just through watching what others were doing, would mimic what they saw. They didn't even know what they were doing, but that's just what was normal for them. So there's a lot of violence. A lot of the boys that we have here have been stabbed, they've been in fights. It's pretty rough.
So when we went to the market and we talked to his mom, she actually had no idea where her kids were. Could just tell that with the hardness of her life that she had just become completely apathetic and almost oblivious to her own kids. And so we explained who we are and what we do, and we said that we'd be interested in taking their son and bringing him to our center. And she was thrilled at that idea, so we said that we would be back 2 days later, gave her a specific time, and then when we went back that day, that's when I met the twins for the first time. When I pulled up in a car, they came running at us, and both of them wanted to be holding me and touching me at all times. And when I looked down at them, I realized that one of them was the boy and that his other twin was a girl. That really put us in a tough spot because looking at both of these kids, I couldn't just bring one of them to our center. So I quickly decided that we would just bring them both, and if we could bring her outside of that life, even for just a day, if we could give her a shower and give her a meal, that it'd be worth it. We run a center for street boys, and you really can't have girls there. So when we brought them here, we just got them showered right away, and then they ate and they ate and they ate. And then after, they both took a nap and they fell asleep for quite a while. But it was incredible. Even on the first day, we brought out a piece of paper and showed them how to draw and showed them what a marker was. And just to see their eyes light up because they had never experienced anything like that was pretty cool. When we put them in the car, Chantel was with me, and so Chantel just started talking with them, and we asked them multiple times, Witwande, which is, what is your name? And every time they responded Muhungu and Makoga, which just means boy and girl in Kinyarwanda, which is the local language here. And so we'd ask in a different way, no, you are a boy and you are a girl, but what is your name? Who are you? And every time they would confidently answer Muhungu or Makoga. And so we quickly realized that these kids had never been named. They'd grown up in the market, and that's just what they had been called at the market. And so that's just kind of the identity that they took on. And right away, I knew we had to name these kids because it wasn't okay for that to be their identity, for that to be their name.
I love the name Benjamin when I found it. It just was a strong name to me, and it's not one that I hear in Rwanda that often. There's a Benjamin in the Old Testament. It's Joseph's brother, and he's actually the youngest of 12. And I liked that because he was our youngest here by far. Benjamin's 5, he just turned 6, but our other youngest is 12. So it felt like a fitting name for him, and it was a strong one, and I was proud for that to be his name.
I pulled him aside and brought him in my office and sat him down with me, and I told him that his name from now on was not Muhungu, that it was Benjamin. And I said that you are a boy, but that's not who you are. And it's very important that you know who you are and that you know that you're Benjamin. And I explained that I wanted him to be proud of his name, and proud of who he was, and so we practiced, and I'd say Witunde, and he'd say Benjamin, and he would just smile so big. And we just did it back and forth, and I had him say Nitwa, which my name is Benjamin. And so then I told him, now when people ask you what your name is, I want you to always tell them Benjamin. I told the rest of the staff and the other boys that they weren't to call him Mahungu anymore, that they were to call him Benjamin. And so he ran out and started telling everybody.
So Benjamin now lives with us at Hope for Life. It's been really fun having a younger one here. I love playing with him. He makes any hard day that I have easier, just getting a hug from him. He was so excited his first day of school. He was running around telling everybody that he was going to school, and he was so excited about his pen and his notebook and his backpack, and he was showing them off to everybody. He really loves it. So I was really excited to send Benjamin to a school that's teaching in English. And he's so much younger than the rest of our boys that I feel really hopeful that he'll actually be able to catch on really quickly, and that there's a big chance that no one would ever know that this boy was a street boy by the time he's my age. He's in school now. He's only a year behind when he should have normally started. Benjamin's first day of school was pretty emotional for me and for everybody here. Just thinking back on where he was 4 months ago, only 4 months ago, it feels crazy to me. It was such a hectic time, but just the stark difference that there was this boy who was living homeless on the streets and was in charge of taking care of himself and his sister. And now that he's in a private school with a bunch of other kids that come from loving families, and he's learning his ABCs, and he's learning basic things that all kids his age should be doing and learning. And just to know where he was and where he's at now is just incredible to me, and I'm just really grateful for it.